Oh, thank God it's Friday. Friday? Yes! It's cheat day pala. Oh. Pahingi chocolate. After ng run? After ng run? After ng run? Yay! Ouch out! Good morning, mga friends! Thank God it's Friday. It's a blessed Friday today. And today's workout is just a chill 3-kilometer run. Because tomorrow we will do a long run, which is 19 kilometers. Today we just rest our body. And before I begin my workout for today, I would like to give an shout out pala for some Filipinos who touch our hearts. And meron akong kodigo. I have a kodigo. And I want to shout out the following Filipino people. Oh, sana po nakikinig kayo. I want to say thank you to Lola Silvia, Lola Gloria, and Kuya Melchor. You know why? I will tell you why. Because 3 of these Filipino people amidst this coronavirus returned or did not want to receive their social amelioration program money, which is maybe we can say around 6,000 pesos or around 15,000 yen. And why they touch my heart? Mapapaiyak ako. It's Friday pa naman. You know, for example, Lola Silvia is also a senior citizen, and all her money comes from just their farming. But she refused to receive because she said some people, some Filipino need the money more. So, shout out to you, Lola Silvia. We love you po. Please stay healthy. Si Lola Gloria naman, yeah, also did not accept the money because she said she was receiving a pension. But you know how much the pension was? 5,000 yen. Eh, parang raise lang yan sa Japan eh, yung 5,000 yen. But she said, same with Lola Silvia, that some more Filipinos out there did it. And lastly, Kuya Melchor. He does not have a livelihood, but fortunately, his wife is having also some job. So he said it's enough, and maybe the money will be used by someone who need it the most. And I want to say, bilib po kami sa inyo. We admire this Filipino value. You show the world that Filipinos are very admirable and great people. I salute you po. Salute you. And yeah, today, these 3 people are just one of the Filipino people who show selflessness. And salamat po. Salamat. From our hearts, you touch us. And how much more from us, diba? You show us that we can also do some little ways to show kindness, humility, and love for other people. Salamat po. A little bit emotional, but let's run! Ouch! Out!
A few moments later.
Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Oh, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
A few moments later.
Ouch out! Ouch out! Ouch out! Anyway, yan, oh, di ba yung feeling, oh, kasi children lang, hindi naman tayo masyadong talagang pagod. Oh, di ba? Anyways, ayun pala. Pero, I would like to share a tip that I learned during my college years that my coach taught me. Even though you're just doing a chill run, usually just the last 800 to 400 meters, try to run faster, like to boost your stamina. It's very good for stamina, even though you're just doing a relaxed run. So anyways, we're going home, and later I'm gonna check out the because it's cheat day, the chocolate. Okay, bye-bye!
A few moments later.
Isa pa? Chocolate. Ah, nga. Okay lang yan. Next time na lang.
A few moments later.
Huh? Nga, sandali, nagugas ako eh. Uy, mang... Bakit ang dami? 95, 86, 72. Sige, we will check out this. Hello, out shout! And we're back. I know many people are excited with this topic because many people love eating this chocolate. Anyways, as I told you previously, our topic will be on chocolates. Yes, I think marami po sa atin ang may gusto ng tsokolate. So, yung iba sa atin gusto yung manamis-namis, yung iba naman medyo yung mapait-pait, ganyan. Pero these days, there are some studies saying darker chocolates or dark chocolates are better than those white chocolates. So that's why our topic is the darker, the better. So I mean, my skin is dark, but this dark skin better. Anyways, that's joking. But we want to start by saying that first, our argument is that yeah, not all chocolates are equal. So we want to specify in terms of what the is the consideration for not being equal. So as you see here, I put different colors. So chocolates have different colors, and the color of this may be because of the differences in their content. So the black, maybe it's more cacao, and here maybe a little less of cacao but more of milk. So this is one of our parameters. Isa po yun sa mga tinitingnan natin na or ang gusto namin i-point out, magkakaiba po yung mga tsokolate. Ayan. Isa rin po, not only color but of course in terms of taste, merong tamis. Yung gusto ng mga bata, tsokolate. Meron din naman yung mapait na gusto yung mga medyo mga health conscious. Kumbaga. So, yung ating pong mga tsokolate, katulad nga nito, di ba? Magic, baliktad. Like this comes from the crop or the plant called cacao. In Philippines, we call it cacao, but I heard one time in some other places they call cacao. Anyways, one of the sources of our chocolates is the plant called cacao. And cacao is grown in different parts of the world. And I think in Philippines, we also have a big production of cacao. Also, other countries in Southeast Asia, such as Malaysia, also some parts of America also. And this cacao, as have been already studied extensively, has been showing a lot of polyphenols. And as I have mentioned previously in one of my vlogs and my lectures, I show that chocolate, especially the dark chocolates, contains a lot of polyphenols, and the type of polyphenol is catechin, or we also can call flavonols. And aside from flavonols, there are also proanthocyanins and also anthocyanins. And these are just some of the polyphenol content in our chocolates. And polyphenols, as we have mentioned, already offer a lot of good effects for our body, such as anti-aging. We also have maybe some already show anti-obesity, for fats, also anti-oxidative properties, for also our heart, and even recently, even for the brain. This type of polyphenols are also very good. And in the market, marami pa tayong makikitang mga types ng chocolate. At siguro kung mahilig-hilig ka sa chocolate, if you're the type of person who really likes chocolate, you'd really observe that in the market you can see this. For example, um, one chocolate tells cacao 72%, one shows like cacao 86%, and the other one is cacao 95%. So what's the difference? So firstly, I would like to inform you how these chocolates are different. So when we say cacao 72%, it means that 72% of the chocolate is the cacao mass. Cacao mass. So for example, here in the back of, if you're checking also the nutritional content of these products, for example, here we can see that this chocolate, one of the components is the cacao mass, which is 72%, and the rest 28% is going for some of the sugars added or the butter. So the same story goes, for example, we have cacao 86%, so it means 86% of the total chocolate content is coming from the cacao solids, and the rest of the 16% yun nga, for sugars and some other ingredients that makes the chocolate a bit more delicious or masarap. And finally, for example, this is a really the higher content version. So I can see 95% of cacao, meaning almost pure cacao content, but only 5% goes for the sugar. So I have mentioned nga iba't iba yung content ng cacao nila and how does it affect the taste. And as we know, the cacao in itself, because it contains a lot of polyphenol, it is bitter. Mapait siya. If we eat as raw, it's very bitter. So for example here, you can imagine the 95% is really bitter, and going to 86, 72, it gets sweeter because normally consumers add or adjust the sugar content based on the consumer's perspective. And yeah, I think here in Japan we have this uh, types of chocolate, and actually they did not say how much percent of cacao they use, but we just do ration proportion to compute, and we estimate maybe at least around 20%. This is quite sweet for me. And each chocolate nga has a different cacao mass, and this cacao mass I think correlates to the taste of the resulting chocolate. And one of the interesting facts also that they put, and we think also that the cacao mass or the cacao content is also correlated to the cacao polyphenol content. So as you can see here, you can always check the back if you're a bit interested. But for our understanding, we saw that the cacao 72% have 127 milligrams per 5 grams per sachet, small sachet of this chocolate, while the 86% has 147 milligrams of cacao polyphenols. And lastly, 95% of this cacao chocolate have 174 milligrams. So in this, the argument is as we go darker, we get more polyphenols. But some of our consumers, as I have mentioned, this probably is really, really bitter. So we can check it. Today we have the three sets. So we have the chance to taste them one by one. And I think that food specialists or some food companies adjust the taste of their food products based on the consumer's preference. I think nowadays also consumers does not like much of the bitter, but only the people who get used to the bitter taste can really stay with the bitterness. So for example, let's check 72%. 72%. So this is the 5 gram. So as I said, per 5 grams, per 5 grams of this chocolate, we get 127 milligrams of cacao polyphenols when you eat it a lot. So let's just check. Hmm, 72% para sa akin ay okay level. Hindi matamis, pero yan, nalalasahan ko yung medyo bitterness. I think it's okay. I think for some consumers, they will like 72%. So my father goes, when I go back to the Philippines, they usually ask me 72%. Oh, okay. Okay level. Hindi naman bad. So, let's check naman. 86%. Hmm. So, kinakabahan ako dito. I think it's quite. Hmm. Now, 86% is already quite bitter as compared to 72%. And my father, I don't know, sometimes he also asked me 86%. Yet I said, are you sure? It's quite bitter already, but he said it's really good. So 86 for me is okay, but I think for some consumers already it's quite bitter, but I'm a bit excited with 95%. So yeah, actually for her, yeah, 94% po ay mapait na. Hmm. It's bitter and hmm, that's still very good because 95% you can really taste like some of the cacao, yung pure na cacao. If you try to eat the cacao balls without sugar, this is it because 95%. But yeah, as I mentioned, um, if you're a chocolate lover and still your preference for the type of chocolate that you eat is still dependent on you because yeah, if you cannot withstand like very high levels of cacao, even so that it contains a lot of polyphenols, you can also go for a little lower of the cacao, 72% or 86%. But yeah, for me, uh, I I really uh, encourage you to try this a bit higher level of of chocolates, the one 86% and 95%, because I think yeah, you can get a lot of polyphenols. Anyway, there's also a good technique for eating the high levels of cacao, like 95%. Actually, when eating this type of chocolates, we should not chew. Dapat hindi po natin sila kakagatin. Because once we chew it, all the cacao, um, like some of its polyphenols will just go directly to the taste buds. That's why mapait siya. But the technique there is just don't chew and let it melt in your mouth, because when we're keeping it melted, the first one that comes out from the chocolate, it's butter. So that's why when the butter covers now our senses, our taste buds, so now we don't really feel the the bitterness of the chocolate itself. And actually, I believe like here in Japan, one of the popular food is natto. It's also eating dark chocolates are also an acquired taste, so we get used to it. And then later, when you practice eating more and more of this dark chocolate, when you try to eat, for example, this type of chocolates, you feel like it's so sweet already. So yeah, my yeah, just answering the question of the darker the better. Yes, in terms of polyphenol contents, if you really want to get as much as of this polyphenols that are very good for the health, yes, it the darker, I think we get more of this health. nutrition. And also, we get less of the sugar because as I have told you, habang bumababa po yung cacao content niya, dumadami din yung another components like sugar nga and some other artificials, etc. that they put also in the food, unlike if we are eating pure of the chocolate. So this is my recommendation. Yes, I think it's better in terms of nutrition, but of course there are people who cannot yet withstand this high levels ng mapait, ganyan. And yeah, they can start with, yes, of course, with this levels 20%, but please, if you eat this type, please consume it in small amounts because it's a lot of sugar. And if you eat it a lot, you're mostly eating the sugar. 80% is the sugar or other components. So you're not really get. So even you say, "Oh, I eat chocolate," but uh, um, unfortunately, the type of chocolate also matters, 'di ba? So, yun lang po yung aking main point for this this topic, ang aking side, ang aking idea about this topic. Yeah, the darker, the better for me. This is my opinion. And finally, syempre, bakit nga ba gusto ko ring i-promote yung eating dark chocolates because recent studies just last year in 2019, actually, this group, Sumiyoshi et al., found out that those who were eating dark chocolates as compared to white chocolates have improved cognition. It means when, for example, they took an exam and for example, they eat first the chocolate and then they took an exam, it showed that after eating the chocolate, they have higher scores in the exam. So, but of course, this is only one of the several studies proving the benefits of eating dark chocolate over white chocolate. But there's still more. But I just want to show you and, of course, encourage you to eat a little more of the dark chocolate. But of course, there are some cheat days. You can also eat in moderation these white chocolates, which are, yes, sweeter. And yes, finally, I want to shout out po sa ating mga cacao farmers sa Pilipinas. I think the Philippines has a very good cacao industry. Even in our house, we have some cacao trees, and then we usually take the cacao beans, these cacao beans, and then take out, yeah, these cacao beans, and then take out its seeds, then dry them. And then when pag dry na po, we bring them to the market and sell them. And then these people in the market also um, just grind them to make it the cacao, yung cacao powder, which yan, masarap na para sa mga cacao drinks, ganyan. Especially sa mga Semana Santa, ganyan. So, this is just my main point and opinion. And ayan, thank you so much for listening to my talk. I hope that you are encouraged to eat more dark chocolates, but or if you don't really still don't want the taste, you can try the sweeter ones, but please eat it in moderation. As I have said, it contains also a lot of sugar, so please keep everything, the food that we eat, etc. in moderation. So, yun lang naman po yung mahalaga. So, thank you so much and have a blessed day. Bye, guys!